All right, so because it's winter, like I said last week, we've decided we're going to start doing some stuff in the house. This week, we're going to start working on the living room and finally get a fan and a new light installed in here. Brighten this place up a little bit.
Shoulda stay, shoulda go now. I'm gonna hold on to the part that isn't gonna kill me.
The other end's gonna kill you. It's not gonna be electrified.
Then what's the point?
Okay. What I need you to do is clip the red one onto this white wire, onto the part that's not white. Make sure it's touching when you get it on there.
Oh, like actually go on.
Okay. See right there? You want to get it between those so that it'll pinch on there. Oh, okay, just hold it there. Hold on to it so it doesn't fall. There it is. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna work. It should, in theory, work. You got the red one on there, right? Mm-hmm. I'm trying to test for continuity to see if this wire here runs to that old light fixture. In theory.
You said in theory a lot.
Okay. So yeah.
What does that mean?
That means that this wire runs to that light fixture. So I don't know where this one runs. So maybe tomorrow I'll have Bean help me test that one too. So at least I know this runs to there. So if I pull this beam down tomorrow and see if that's what this random wire was feeding, if it goes up and comes down, because that might have been, it's impossible to say. But those wires run behind that beam, and I don't see anywhere else that they run, so.
Okay.
But at least tells me that this runs to that.
Sweet. Okay, cool.
That's something.
That's something. Good job.
That
Yep.
is something.
This is a faux beam. It's not actually one of the structural ones. So I'm going to take it down because there are some wires that run behind it, and I want to see where they go. Oh, they're pretty long legs.
You're a long lag.
Yes, I am. Hopefully this thing isn't ludicrously heavy that I'm going to drop it when it comes loose.
I can come help you. I got it.
Yeah, see, you use the ladder and I'll use the...
All I have to do is catch it, right?
But the problem is, if it's heavy...
I just want the people to be able to hear my witty banter.
So I'm going to start calling you.
Witty banter?
Yes.
It's Mrs. Banter to you.
Okay, slide down. Okay. Here we
Well, it's
go.
not light.
But what's good? Okay, just don't trip over it.
I will do my best.
I know you're definitely going to trip over it. One of those wires runs out to that exterior wall. One of them
Oh, there is two.
runs in right here. Where would that go in the exterior wall?
Does it run back down and maybe that's the one that's making the porch light burn out all the time?
That one's not connected to anything.
Oh.
Like on that end, it's just loose.
Oh, that's true.
I can pull these boards off, which would give me access to this entire cavity.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's just below this beam. So then I'd be able to see out into the living room.
Oh.
And see where the wires run.
But we just painted it.
I'm aware. These are tongue and groove boards, but
They look like it, yeah.
I'm trying to see. This one right here is barely in the groove.
Okay, well that sounds like a good one to start with.
Definitely gotta have more painting to do. Well, that certainly didn't help me any.
What's wrong with it?
Well, I put my hammer behind it so that I was getting some pressure off the floor, but this board.
Oh.
Is breaking that one a little bit, but if that's all that breaks, I can deal with it. Oh, that's not good. I'm breaking this damn board.
Yeah.
I don't mind one break, but I mean, this part's all covered up with trim. That's the only part that'll be visible, but. Well, they really nailed it off. That really sucks.
You found the wires.
Where did they go before? It's the part that I don't understand. Sucker can't go down far into the wall or floor. Oh, that's good on the knee.
Whoa.
Huh.
What was that?
That was a Sawzall blade that was in the wall.
Alrighty. Last time somebody tried to get those wallboards off.
I see no wires down there. So what the hell fed that? This certainly can't hurt considering how thick this paint is.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully, cut it off down there, I can cover it with a piece of trim. But give them credit. They could build one hell of a house. Oh, God.
What's in there?
Some old fabric, old wallpaper.
Oh, wow.
There's old paper on the back of this.
Huh. Why is it on that side?
I don't know. Maybe before they put the plaster in there, this is what you could see in that room. There's a lot of layers of wallpaper.
It's pretty par for the course in this place.
I mean, there is a lot.
Oh, wow.
Well, in theory. Oh, for God's sake. That's working. Sweet.
Oh, something fell. Hey.
There she goes. Look how many layers of wallpaper are on the back of this. All the way back to fabric wallpaper.
Wow.
Boy, they boxed the crap out of this thing. What is that? Is that a cut off wire? Is that a broken piece of wood? That's why that one was so tough, because it was nailed in from this side and nailed in from this side.
Oh.
You can see all these.
Yeah.
If that wire's good, we can use it. If not, in theory, I should be able to pull it back through with a new wire attached to it.
Okay.
It looks like this board goes behind the stairs,
Oh.
which means I'd have to cut it also, and I'm really trying not to keep. That is why there's wallpaper. Before they put the plaster in the living room, this was the wall. The backside of this was the living room wall. Because the only thing on the other side of it is just newer 2x4s and drywall from when they did the plaster. You know what that means too?
What?
Well, at least here. I don't know about on the rest of it. But they used, it's not lath and plaster. It's drywall with plaster over it. That's so much less work to get out.
Oh, good.
So much less work.
Because you can see it through there. That's the wall of the living room, right?
Yeah, that's the back side of the wall. What's it called? Lath and ship?
I don't know.
I say it all the time. It's super common.
I thought it was just lath and plaster.
Maybe it is. It just doesn't seem right. I mean, I've taken it out 4 or 5 times, but either way, this isn't the thin boards with the freaking horsehair plaster and everything. This is just drywall with plaster over it.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh. So the living room is even different than out here. I don't know what this was like originally, but under the beams is tongue and groove wood like our floor. So it was like a flat ceiling. Yeah.
Like the one above your head?
It's like this kind of wood, but here.
Oh.
It also has multiple layers of wallpaper on it.
The wallpaper on the ceilings?
Apparently. So where do you go? I don't understand. So there's 2 wires that go somewhere I have no idea. Well, at least one of them goes to the living room light, but I don't know what fed it because there's no hole where anything would have come into it. There is a tube for the old knob and tube wiring up there.
I see that.
What would they have run after they plastered the living room that goes that way and out there?
Are you sure they were after it was plastered?
I mean, the reason I say that is because of the age of the wiring. The wiring for the living room light is older than this wire up here. I've been looking at all the wiring, tracing it as best I can. Since we moved in, we've had this wire that we didn't know where it ran. I followed it up, took this beam down. I see that it's one of 2 wires that runs up there. That particular one runs all the way to the corner and then goes into the living room. Now, I wasn't sure what in the world that would go to, but I came in here and started pulling the wiring for the living room light to make sure that I'm right. This does run to that one switch, so if I get power to the switch, I should be able to just hook up the light. Now, there are 2 other wires up there that they're much older. I don't know what they ran to. I should be able to just cut them off and disregard them. Hopefully. Then you come into Bean's room and I pulled her light switch, and what I found, you're not gonna be able to see it because it's too dark, that gray wire that ran up along the stairs seems to run into that switch, as well as that's what's in her light fixture. So what I'm thinking is, that wire, when they redid the room and my aunt and uncle lived in that room for a while, I think this line was added to power that room. Maybe they just decided that the wiring that was in the wall was too old. So maybe that's what those old wires that are in there that I'm not sure what they go to, that might be what that was. But I'm pretty confident that that wire runs all the way along this back wall of the living room and feeds Bean's room. If that's the case, then I can keep that wire, tie it into a breaker downstairs, and Bean would have light and fan in her room. And then if I can run a line up to this light switch here, I can connect to it and we'll have light and power in the living room. I have to check the other end of that, see if I can pull it up through here. If I can do the same thing, check continuity with the light switch in there. And if that's the case, then all I got to do is get rid of the old wiring, the stuff that I don't know what it feeds, just cut it off and tuck it up in, reconnect all this, and we'll have a living room light, and then maybe next week I can do a bedroom light for Bean. So I feel like I'm on the right path now. Now if I'm right, it's just work. It's not freaking trying to figure out 60, 80, 150 years worth of crap that's gone on in this house. Okay, so the only thing I have left that I just have not figured out is this wire here. I know it runs up from the basement. It's not connected to anything down there, but it runs up here into this old joist and runs somewhere. Obviously, I pulled this much slack out of the room, but then it gets tight and I don't know. So I don't like doing it, but I may just cut this thing off flush here, push the rest in, take that wire out and not worry about it, because it's definitely not connected. There's nothing hooked to it. But I have not been able to find anything in the living room and Bean's room outside that would feed. So your guess is as good as mine at this point. I don't know. But I did find where the old knob and tube goes in. Is it still recording?
Yep.
Okay.
Should start by facing me though.
I want to look at you. So my beanbag brother had an idea that I can climb up in there and drill through right behind that toe kick into the wall and feed the wire up along here and up to that light switch that feeds the living room, which will be the easiest way to hide the wire. And this just gets used for storage, so it's not going to impede anything. But it means I got to crawl my big ass into that small space that's nothing but mouse crap and broken glass. So that's a plus.
Hope you get tetanus.
Actually, I don't. Is that even glass? What is that? It's like an old window pane or something like that.
Well, you'd want to keep that.
Yeah, I might glue it back together one day.
He's gonna melt it down.
Oh yeah, look at the rat shit in that.
Here, let me get a
You need a sock too.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. All right, if I could just get a bunch of this out of my way. Oh yeah. There have been many mice that have called that home over the years. All right.
Buy a 200-year-old house, they said.
Yeah,
It'll be great, they said.
yeah. Oh, I might have to get a ladder or something. Yeah, I'm definitely not pushing on that. My ladder is too short to use as a step ladder, or to use as a extension ladder. So if I just jam it on top of my cardboard I've been saving for my furnace I'm getting rid of, then hopefully I can get up here. Oh, climb my ass up into the rat shit. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be the best. Come out to the coast. Get together. Oh.
Nice deep breath back there.
Yeah, I am. Lots of them. That's where I just drilled. And it's really nice back here. Back here with all my friends. Mouse crap. And my tool bag brother right there. Yep.
I don't even know if that's focused.
Back in the hole I go. I need you to not be hard this early on in the process. All right. Hold on, I'm laying on it. There we go. Go ahead.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your stay at Armstrong Acres?
This is like a 2. The bedding sucks. It feels like straw and it smells like mouse crap. So Jason was over here helping me, and I climbed through mouse crap and sawdust and ran this power line, and then realized 5 minutes after he left, I don't need a power line there. You don't run power to the switch, you run power to the light, and then from the light to the switch. I don't know what was going through my head. I just wasn't thinking. I was in a rush, and that was half a day's worth of doing crap for nothing. Sweet. So now that we know that that was a bust down there, it got me thinking about how this is the easiest way to find it. And one of the things I ran into, I don't remember if I filmed it, but most of the floorboards up here are 20 or 30 foot long tongue and groove boards. We noticed that in here in our closet, there's a little square section where they're short. Like somebody has taken them out before. Now this isn't above the living room, but it got me wondering, why would
What is
they
in
have-
here?
So there's some knob and tube.
Ew, it's so gross in there. Yep, I see the knob and tube. Holy, look at them.
Oh yeah, that's what you want.
There's a puzzle piece. Let's see. You can see wall boards coming up.
You could see a gap into the living room, couldn't you?
More knob and tube. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's what that gap is right there.
So that's the knob and tube. That might have been what originally fed the living room.
It's over here. Let me turn this thing up. It's kind of handy having the camera.
There's a bunch of knob and tube.
Can't really tell. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking at over there, huh?
Looks like that's what used to feed Bean's room and the bathroom and fed the living room. So Wish I could see farther this way.
Well, I mean, we could probably get these other boards up here.
This is the problem we were talking about, is in order to pull these up, because they're tongue and groove, you have to break a tongue off. But if I bring my oscillator up and I run it right along the edge and cut one tongue of one board and get it out, the next few in series should come up without a problem. And then I could get access to see directly above the living room light. Don't fall in there, Frank. And then we'll be in good shape to get new wiring run to that. I do think that the stuff that I found for Bean's room is probably correct. Not sure why they ran it that way, but I'm pretty confident. Pretty confident. I have to look at it again.
You sound confident. Well, you've already got this board up, so won't these next ones come up?
Well, this one's long. And this one, it's the ones behind you that are the ones you're nailing
that's true,
on.
yeah. What's so rotted, it's just lifting up around the nail.
Well, not to correct you, but to correct you.
You gonna mansplain it to me?
I am. It's not because it's rotted, it's because it's dry.
Oh, it is really dry in our house.
I'm impressed that they got these back in with that tongue intact, unless they cut one of the other ones. Oh, there goes that tongue.
Wow, look at you, muscles.
Really don't want to mess these boards up too much, but
They're so brittle. Oh,
okay.
what's under there?
Oh, all kinds of stuff, but they pulled this one to run the ductwork for the heater, for the furnace.
Oh, okay.
This is gross.
Yeah, it's super gross.
Can you hold these boards?
Yep.
I can't. I definitely don't let it go because there's a nail right there.
Okay.
Oh, look, because I can see pretty far through that gap. Oh, boy, there's definitely been a mouse living right there.
Oh yeah, it's got a little nest.
That explains why these boards were all cut up, because they ran wiring and the ductwork for the furnace. New plan. For next week, I'm going to take my tape measure. I'm going to measure the living room to figure out exactly where the ceiling light is. Then I can do like they did. I have more modern tools, but I can follow this nail line, because that nail line is going to be this beam. If I cut the boards directly on that and then cut a tongue, when I put it back down, instead of just having one nail in the middle, you just have the nail on both sides of my cut like they did here. It'll still preserve the wood, so we can still use it, but it'll give me access to the light. So the only other thing I'd need to figure out is how to get it from over there to here.
Sounds easy.
Everything about this is easy. Really wish I hadn't thought of the dang wiring wrong before. That's a pretty simple wiring thing that just completely was backwards in my brain for no reason.
Well, it's your day off.
Yeah, but I do this crap all the time. That was just like ridiculous. So that shows you, when I was talking about downstairs, how the ceiling before they put the plaster in was just boards like the floor up here. There they are.
Yeah.
If we pulled the plaster and didn't pull the boards, the ceiling would look like the floor up here. Probably in much better shape, but
Well, it'll be these boards, right?
yeah, it's those boards, but it'd be the other side that's been protected and not walked on for 200 years. In the living room, we want to take those boards out to expose the beams like the kitchen.
Oh, because those are on the bottom of the beams.
Yeah. So as far as getting the job done, this week was a bust. Didn't get the light installed. Really didn't make a ton of progress, but positive is we did learn a lot about the house. We now know what it's going to be like, or what it will look like when we get the plaster out of there. I figured out more of the wiring that's different than what I've heard from different family members over the time. And
We found a lot more wallpaper.
we found a lot of layers of wallpaper. So it's not a bust overall. We figured some things out, and I just have to come up with one more little plan to run the wiring properly, and then we can move on. So, you know, all in all, sucks we don't have a light, but not so bad. We're making some progress.